Greetings, everyone. My name's Rick Mannon, and I'm an inductee into the Brantford and Area Sports Hall of Recognition. I'm honored today to have Bev Beaver here for the sport of softball. And Bev, I don't remember what year you were inducted, but you're an inductee into the Brantford and Area Sports Hall of Recognition. Was it
1995.
95?
Yes.
Okay. Softball. Not to be mistaken with fastball or hardball, but I'm going to call it softball. But I have some questions for you, and we just want to learn a little bit about Bev Beaver and her experiences and her how she feels about being inducted into the sports hall. So the first question I have for you is, what drew you into the sport of softball?
I'm not really sure. Ever since I can remember as a child, I like sports.
Yeah.
And my older brothers were into sports. They liked to play basketball, softball,
Yeah.
and hockey. And that's about it. And we'd go to softball games in Oswego when I was little. That my mother would load a carload of us kids into
Yeah.
the car and go and watch softball games.
Yeah.
And I guess that's how I really got interested
Mhm.
in playing. So yeah, I don't really know. I just
Like
born a sports person, I guess.
Yeah. A spectator, and then you must have liked it enough to get into it.
Yes.
But do you have any mentors that have helped you along the way?
I would say my brothers, which were older than me, they were always doing sports outside, like playing ball with their friends and hockey in the wintertime. So
Yeah.
I was a few years younger than them, but I wanted to do what they were doing. So I guess, they were my mentors
Yeah.
at the time.
Right.
And then my older brother got married, and his wife was into sports too.
Mm-hmm.
And she played for the Oswego Mohawks. That was the main ladies team at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So she asked me if I wanted to try out. So that's where I started out with her, my sister-in-law, playing fastball. And I went from there, I guess, like, enjoying it.
Sure.
And then we had a nice coach. His name was Mel Squire Hill, and he was a laid-back gentleman that everybody liked, and he was a pretty good coach. And he used to pick me up to go to the games because I had no other way there unless I walked to Oswego, which would be a 4 or 5 mile walk. But
well, you could have run.
Yeah. And so that's how I'd get the games, and he'd make sure I arrived safely home, and my parents didn't mind. So I guess that's really how I started, with those two, my sister-in-law and my brothers, and my coach.
Sure.
So
Terrific. What are some of the highlights of your career?
Well, I played both fastball and hockey, and one of the things was in 1973, I think it was, our Mohawk ladies fastball played in a Ontario elimination tournament in Milverton, Ontario. And we weren't a senior A team, we were a senior B team. But they invited us to the tournament, so we went, and that was just our Six Nations team, where we played against teams that were from Agincourt and Fort Erie, and they had players that were from other areas other than their area. So I thought we did pretty well. We made it right to the finals, and if we had won the tournament, we would have represented Ontario in the Canadian Championship, which was held in British Columbia. And so that was one of my top moments playing fastball. So, and then in 1980s, there was a Canadian native fastball tournament in Kelowna, BC, which it wasn't my team, the Mohawks, that went to the tournament. It was another one from Six Nations called Thomas's Corner, and I was asked to play. So we went out there and played other teams from other provinces, native teams, and we won the championship there. So that was another pretty good highlight.
Yeah, I guess.
And then later on, I can't remember the year, but we went to a native fastball tournament in Oklahoma, in the US of A, and we played there and we won the championship there. So that was actually pretty nice to,
sounds like it.
win there too. And in both places, I managed to win the MVP award.
Well,
and so that was, you know,
that's terrific.
That was pretty nice.
Yeah.
So.
Well, good for you. I like these stories. How has softball impacted your life?
I think it's made me a better person and understanding people and the sports, and making me realize that people look up to me more than, I mean, not more than what other people, but they recognize me from playing sports, and so that's sort of a great feeling to be looked at as a role model. So I try to give advice if anybody asks about my sport. I try to give them advice of how to, you know, improve or get better, and so that's a compliment, I think, when you're into sports.
Yeah.
People appreciate your time in the sport.
Well, that kind of leads me into the next question, which is, what did it mean for you to be inducted into the Brantford Area Sports Hall of Recognition?
Oh, that was a real great honor to be selected from Six Nations and Brantford. Like, I always admired the people from Brantford and area. To be chosen to be in that sports hall. People always talked about having a sports hall on Six Nations, but that never materialized yet. But someday it might, and we have a lot of good athletes from Six Nations.
Sure do.
That deserve to be recognized, and some of the ones that, you know, have been recognized are into the Sports Hall of Recognition in Brantford. So.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, the last question I have for you is, if you were speaking with a young athlete, aspiring athlete, what message would you give them?
Well, I would tell them to try their best and practice, and try to have a good attitude if you're on a team against your fellow teammates. Don't criticize if they make a mistake or things like that, because everyone makes a mistake. And be dedicated to your team, and show up all the time. Like,
All important messages.
Yeah.
Well, that's terrific, Bev. I appreciate you taking the time to spend with us today and giving us a little insight into who you are and what your sport did for you, and your experience being inducted into the Brantford Area Sports Hall of Recognition. So I appreciate you coming in today and talking with us. I welcome viewers to take a look at our Sports Hall of Recognition, either online or go to the Wayne Gretzky Sports Center and see for yourself. It's a great facility we have, lots of history. Thanks, Bev.
You're welcome.